Hey everybody, welcome to another Angry RV Hippie. I'm cooking in my robe today because I'm trying to make a quick lunch. We're going to turn out a fast Alfredo gluten-free pasta, and I'm going to make the sauce from scratch with coconut cream. Follow along. All right everybody, start to get that pasta cooking in your pan. I'm going to do some sauteed jalapenos and onions, and then I'm going to show you step by step on how to get this nice, thick, creamy coconut milk cream sauce. I'll add in a little bit of dairy, a little bit of cheese, and we're going to have a nice homemade pasta from scratch for lunch. I just decided last minute to add in some garlic. Let's make this a little garlicky. Using some fresh, crush those down good, dice them right into that onion jalapeno mixture. Alright, now our pasta's already ready. Let's cook it however you like. I like mine a little al dente. You don't want to overcook it because you're going to end up adding it back into the sauce to really mix it. On those onions and peppers, really get those nice and soft and caramelized, so that they're really good when you whip them into your sauce. And then remember, save a little bit of that pasta water, because in case this sauce gets a little too thick, you can always add pasta water sauce, and that will really cream back up your sauce. Now, if you like to get extra creative, I'm actually going to take my pepper and onion mix. I'm going to dice it up in my magic bullet here, because I want it to be real small consistency when I add it back into the pasta. I'm actually doing a vegetarian blend today, getting a little bit of break on some red meat. We have a vegetarian chorizo from Abbott. Amazing. Guys, you can get this at Publix, any big box grocery store. 7 ingredients, made with extra virgin olive oil. This is an amazing product. That's Abbott vegetarian chorizo. Just to give you a visual. See, they got me just like a nice little chopped, and I'm going to add that right into the vegetarian meat mixture. Okay. All right, start this sauce, everybody. Always get a nice butter in the pan. Start with a little bit of butter, get that all nice and thick. Once that boils down, then we're going to add in the coconut milk. Alright, now add in that coconut milk and whisk. You want to just whisk that into the butter. And you're going to do this and whisk for about a good minute, because you can see how coconut milk is going to be a little bit lighter, not as heavy as a cream. And remember, season that however you like. A little bit of salt and pepper if you want to add some paprika, some spices. And then you're going to whisk a little bit. And then I'm going to start in a few minutes to add in the cheese. And remember, to make any roux thicker, you can always add in a little bit of flour, whether you prefer almond, coconut, regular. And remember, you want to get this heat up to a boil. You got to get that sauce nice and hot. And then we'll bring it down to a simmer. And that's when we'll start to add in the flour and cheese. And then when it starts to cool, you're going to get a nice thick consistency on this creamy Alfredo sauce. Because I have a little left in RV life, I like to use up every component I have. So we're going to do a creamy marinara Alfredo sauce. Because I just say, why not? You got to find more room in the RVs these days, because we don't have conventional fridges. We don't have a ton of space. So we're going to mix this together and get a nice, good, creamy marinara Alfredo sauce. And remember, with vegetarian meat, it can tend to get a little dry, so if anything gets dry, always just add in a little bit of broth. That nice chicken broth, beef broth, whatever you prefer to use. Get that mixture added in there so that meat doesn't get real dry, because it is a vegetarian meat made from a pea protein, and that'll keep it nice and moist. Alright, see that nice boil, guys? Now go ahead and get that heat down on low. Let it simmer, and this is when you can grind in. You know, I'm going to shave in some fresh cheese, and then just add flour slightly. Just a little bit low. That's how I like to cook my sauce, and that way it can thicken up to the consistency that you like. And then if you feel that you've made too thick, again, add in more chicken broth and the pasta sauce water if you need to make it a little bit more liquefied. Now look at that, everyone. I went ahead and added in my pasta because I was getting impatient and I'm starving. But look at that. Nice, thick, creamy consistency. You didn't have to use no store-bought Alfredo. Can of coconut milk. 10 minutes later, and look at this dreamy, thick pasta. I'm going to add my meat after, show you the final product. Again, you want more thickness, add more flour. You want less thickness, add more broth. Follow along. Angry RV, cooking in my robe. And voila. Look at that, everybody. A nice, creamy, dreamy, from scratch, gluten-free, vegetarian pasta. Made that in under 30 minutes in the RV, guys. Look how simple that can be. I gotta go to work in 45 minutes. Now I have dinner ready for everybody else. Kids, family, follow along for more recipes.